There, Laurie here from Unique Creek. Sorry I'm a bit late. Tom was slipping away. Say hello when you come in. Tonight I am making a super cool wreath. I love monochromatic wreaths. Anybody else love monochromatic wreaths? Meaning just like one color. Well, it's more than one color, obviously, but it's black and white or black and orange or something like that. You know, all the same. The ribbons, the mesh, everything's the same color. Hopefully I'm streaming. Oh, there I am streaming properly. Awesome. I'm all discombobulated because I'm late. I'm late for the very important date. Okay, let's pull all the stuff out. Okay, hello friends, hello. Hopefully I'm streaming to YouTube. Am I streaming on YouTube, my friends? Do you see me? I am. Awesome. Watching from Oklahoma, from Texas. Yeah, I heard about Texas. Poor Dre is melting in Texas. Okay, so we are doing kit. What number is this kit? 50, I think. It's got black and white border stripe mesh. We're going to be using this awesome haunted ribbon with the skulls and bats and everything on them. We have this center skull. It's going to go right in the center of our wreath. And, oh, there's hi, Tina. Hi, Liz. Hi, Jackie Blewett. Hi, Tina. Hey, everybody. Hi, Anita. And then we're going to add these really cool bats. 1, 2, 3. They only give you 7. We'll figure it out. That's not till the end anyways. But these bats are super cool. And there's bats, of course, in the ribbon and everything. So let's get started. So this, I wrote it down somewhere. So I cut my mesh the following. I did 8 pieces. I cut 8 pieces of mesh at 20 inches. That's going to be for row 1. And then I cut 16 pieces of mesh at 12 inches. Okay? So 8 pieces at 20 inches for the mesh. So, and 8 pieces at 12 inches. So you're going to roll your mesh out, cut it at the 20, or you can use your ruler that is in your kit that you can attach to your table and cut it. Well, let's do a 12-inch. There we go. There's a 12-inch. So you need 16, 12, 18, 20 inch. Okay, so that is our mesh. And then our ribbon. Our ribbon I'm going to do a little different. This is a, back here. This ribbon is a ribbon where it's diagonal. So if we do like a ribbon tails like that, one side of our ribbon is going to be upside down. We're going to fix that. All right, but we need 16 pieces of this ribbon at 15 inches. I know, directional. Is that what I said, Lynn? I don't know. It's been a day. We need 16 pieces of this ribbon at 15 inches. So you can either roll your ribbon out with your ruler here, okay, put your finger on the 16 where the 16 is on your ruler, and you can fold your ribbon like this, and then like this, right? And then cut it off the roll. Let me just do this properly. There we go. So there's 3 pieces right there. So you cut it off, and then we're going to cut the end where it's folded over, and then the other end. Okay, so we got 3 pieces here. So you can do it like that. You can use your cutting mat, or you can use the measure buddy. We are going to pull, I said diagonal, directional. That's what I meant. Thank you. So pull number 1 out, all the way out where it's to 14 inches. And then I'm going to pull number 2 out and right till it clicks, and you'll see the 15. So from here to here is 15 inches. Okay, a little easier. Hello, 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 everybody. If you wouldn't mind floating my boat, sending me over the falls, whatever you want to do, that would be fantastic. Okay, so I got 3, and I need 16. So I'm going to put my ribbon, put the end of it at the end of my measure buddy here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'll do 6. 6. Cut it off, slide it off the measure buddy, oops. And then we're going to cut where we folded the ribbons. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need 16. So pull this back out again. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, there's our 16 ribbon tails. Well, we got about a quarter of a roll left. Again, we're going to cut the ends of this ribbon to give us individual pieces. Hello, everybody from New York, Texas, we're everywhere, aren't we? All right, so I do have 16 pieces. This ribbon is so pretty. Even though it's skulls and bats and everything, it's really pretty because it's got like this glitter on it. Shimmer, it's beautiful. All right, so we got our mesh, 8 at 20, 16 at 12. We got 16 ribbons. And what you're going to do with your ribbon, because this is a directional ribbon, we are going to fold the ribbon in half, and we're going to cut it in half. Okay, so fold it in half and cut on the fold. Okay, we're going to do that. We can do a few at the same time. Just make sure the ends are butt up against each other so they're the same length. Fold it over and cut down where you folded. You have wreath recipes now. That's funny. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to pile these ribbons on top and fold them over and cut them in half. Now we're doing this because it is a directional ribbon, so we want all the skulls in the house, the haunted house and everything, all to be going the same way. And this is just a little easy cheater way that you can do that. Hello, Felicia. Normally I have this all done, but like I said, I was running a little bit late. Okay, so now we have 7.5 inch half pieces. Okay, so we are using the large board. We don't need to do anything with the skull right now because in your kit, it does have, you have 2 pipe cleaners, and there is 2 little holes right at the side here that Dave has nicely punched for you. So we don't have to worry about cable mounts. So we're gonna put 1 pipe cleaner on one side and 1 on the other. Yeah, the storms are bad. My poor dog. She has anxiety so bad with the storms. I had to make a report. All right, so there's our sign. I'm gonna put it to the side. I'm gonna take this off just in case your customer, you know, decides to change the center or something. You don't want them to see the tag. It is global warming. Okay, so on row 1, we're going to be doing row 1. Normally I don't start with row 1. You guys know that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. For this wreath, we are going to be using row 1, row 2, we're skipping row 3, and row 4. Okay? All right. So you're going to preload row 2. And what you're going to do, let's just cut this, hold on, is you're going to find the number 2 on your board. And again, you do not have to do this kit this way. You can do it whatever way you want. She does have medication. It doesn't really work very good for her. Anyways, okay, back to the board. Where there's row 2, you're going to take one of your zip ties. You got 100 zip ties, okay? You're going to go down and back up right where the number 2 is, okay? And that's a good place to start. It's a starting point, and you're going to do your zip tie up until you hear that zipping sound and it locks. So there's the number 2. You're going to skip the next one and put a zip tie. Skip the next one and put a zip tie. Skip the next one and put a zip tie. And you're doing your zip ties closed, like you would if you were doing a flower wreath, okay? That's for row 2. So you're going to have 8 zip ties on row 2. And then row 3, we're not going to be doing anything. And then we're going to skip down to row 4. And you're going to go down and back up, just like you did on row 2. Do it up till you hear that zip, and then it's locked. So you have 8 on row 4, nothing on row 3, 8 on row 2, and then row 1. What we're going to do is we're going to make this wreath appear larger, okay? Because when people see a larger wreath, right, they obviously think they're getting more bang for their buck. So we're going to use row 1 with just ruffles. So wherever it's on row 2, okay, where you put your zip tie, on row 1, you're going to go opposite. So I've already started because it's just a ruffle. So here's my number 2. So I'm going to go into this hole right here to the outside of the board. I don't know where these ginormous zip ties came from. Right here to the outside of the board. Okay, just put it kind of laying down in an L shape. Okay, you're going to take one of those 20-inch pieces that you cut. Okay, and I like to, you can try this, but I like to fold it in just a bit because I don't wood burn or these. You don't need to. I just put something heavy, put it, fold it in just a bit. And what you're doing here is you're just hiding any of the loose strings or frays that are on your mesh, okay? So just fold it in about 1 inch, 2 inches. And then I'm gonna do the same thing at the bottom here where I'm going to start scrunching. And then I'm going to pinch and drag. Pinch, drag with these fingers, and then my pinky fingers are kind of keeping it centered as I'm pinching and dragging. Okay? And when you get to the end, this is what you have. Alrighty? I'm going to flip this over, and where you've pinched in the center of your mesh, you're going to take that center, put it right onto the board where your zip tie is. So you see your zip tie, it's going to go from that hole to the outside of the board. Put your mesh right in the middle and kind of flip it so it's going towards the outside. This is almost like framing the wreath and giving the appearance of a bigger wreath. Okay, so do your zip tie up, and then you can fix your ruffle. Make sure it's facing towards the outside, just like that. So you see how the ruffle is all on the outside here. It's like I said, it's like it's framing our wreath. And then once you got your wreath, your ruffle on, do your zip tie up and use your wire nippers in your kit and cut the zip tie tail off. You're going to skip, you're going to go to the next one. Do the exact same thing. Put your zip tie down like an L shape on your table. Take a 20-inch piece. Hello, hello. Now if you have clips, I do sell the clips, the metal clips in my store. If you do have some clips, and they're very handy and they're not expensive, so if you can, grab a package of clips because they are super handy for wreathing. I'm just going to clip the end there where I've folded it in like an inch or two. All right, and then I'm going to fold this. Put some scissors there. All right, and then we're going to pinch and slide. Pinch and slide. So it's almost like an accordion. Pinch and slide. And I'm making sure it's centered just by using all my fingers right to the end. And you got this beautiful ruffle. I skipped one hole. Oh. How'd that work? Oh, Lynn. What did I do here? Yes, I did skip 2 holes. We're gonna use, you have to use one of these hanging holes here. Thank you, Lynn. Again, put it on the board, come around and do the zip tie up. There we go. Oh, and make sure the flat part of your zip tie is facing the tail so it does do up properly. Okay, just do it up, not super tight. Just make sure I like to make sure my ruffle is pretty even and facing the outside, and let's do that up. Okay. And we're going to clip it. Let's skip this one, and we're going to go here. I screwed up somewhere. How did I screw up? I always screw up. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I was supposed to go right here. Okay, it doesn't matter. I went in the hanging hole. I was supposed to go right here. Let's fix it. To fix your mistake, yeah, that's why I did it. So I can show you how to fix a mistake. To fix your mistake, just clip the zip tie off. Oh, it's been a day, my friends. I'm telling you, it's been a day. All right. Now we're cooking with fire. There we go. Not even paying attention. Thank God you guys are wonderful students. All right. And then we're skipping this one and going here. There we go. We're right. But you know, if I was just continuing with the wreath, nobody would have known. Well, especially your customer would not know that if you made a mistake. Because they can't tell. All right, I'm folding this end over about 1 inch, 2 inches. I'm going to put a little clip on it. I am a wonderful teacher, aren't I? Why? Because I screw up all the time? All right. Fold our end in. And we're pinching right down the center, pleating, accordion, whatever you want to call it. Right to the end. Bring that clothespin. Okay, there's our ruffle. You're going to flip it over so the cut side is down. Put it right on your board, just like that. Do your zip tie up. Not too tight because we're going to make sure the ruffle is doing nicely. It's looking good. I like to, when you grab the end here, and if you fold it kind of down towards the board, it makes a nice flat ruffle going towards the outside. And then pull it tight. All right, we got row number 1 done. Yay! Oh, Lord. And it's only Tuesday, isn't it? All right, so there's row 1. So our wreath is going to be 25 inches in diameter, which isn't bad considering the board is only 15.5. So we added 10 inches to the size of the wreath by just doing these ruffles on row 1. So now the wreath looks huge, okay? Sorry, I'm thirsty. Okay, now you're gonna take your 12-inch pieces, and we have the 8 zip ties that we preloaded on row 2. And we're gonna make ruffles again. Okay, now you can fold it in again if you'd like. Pinch it again down the middle, just like that. And this time you're gonna take it and you're gonna flip it upwards so that the 2 border stripes are meeting like this. Okay, and once you have them even, each side of the ruffle, grab the whole thing, and this part, which I call a nub, is going to go right into the zip tie, just like that. Okay, and then you're about a ½ inch into your zip tie. Pull your zip tie tight and clip it off. All right, we want to make sure our ruffle is nice. And then while you're there, you're going to go ahead and put another zip tie down and back up and close it up. Just till you hear the clicking and it's tightened, okay? This is just an easy way of doing this part without having to struggle with your mesh. I should say struggle with your mesh and your ribbons at the same time. flip it up. Once it's all even, you can see how this is nicely, both sides or the stripes are going almost identical. My right hand, there's my nub. I'm going to stick it. We skipped that one. I'm going to put it in here. Again, about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch into the zip tie. Cut your zip tie tail, and then we're going to put another one down and up. Now, for those of you who have been doing wreaths like this for a while, you do know you only have to use one zip tie. This is more for the beginners who may not be coordinated to hold the mesh and put the ribbon at the same time, right? So once you get a little bit more familiar with the wreath boards, that's 12 inches, you'll be able to just use one zip tie. But for now, we're using 2. And we're just going in and putting this mesh in row 2 all the way around. Make sure our ruffle is up. Cut it, and we're going to put another one down and up. You do get 100 zip ties, so you have plenty. Yeah, so a lot of you that watched me and have done quite a few wreaths, you guys know that you can use just one zip tie for what I'm doing right here. However, probably a lot of you still do it like this anyways, right? Because it is a lot easier. Oh, that's 16 inches. Oh, there we go. I was wondering what the heck. What the heck? So this replay, if you did get the kit, the replay will be available on our YouTube channel under wreath kits and large board, okay? And again, I just want to reiterate, you do not have to, you have all kinds of stuff in this kit. If you don't like this style, you don't have to do it. You can do it however you want. It is your wreath. But I think once you see mine, you'll love it. I'm not even a Halloween person, and I've done this wreath last year, and it's awesome. Yeah, if you're gonna use border stripe, you most definitely want to use some kind of ruffle or a curl or something that is going to show the actual stripe. You don't want to use this for a poof because you're going to lose the stripe in the mesh. This is where the money is. The money for the mesh, like the cost of the mesh. The middle of the mesh is just like a value mesh. So you are paying the money for the actual border stripe to see. So you want to use like a ruffle, like I said, or a curl that you will see the stripe. Yes, there is a sunflower kit with the 19-inch diamond netting. I see that question, Shauna. I still have to do that video. I'm hoping to do it this weekend. There's just not enough time in the day. No, the kit, it's sold out right now. There is a diamond, it's called diamond netting. It's 19 inches, the roll is, with sunflower ribbon and stuff. Like I said, I will be doing it on the weekend. All right, one more of these, and then we're going to add our ribbon to this row. All right, so because we're using diagonal with ribbon, there are some people that are very OCD, my best friend being one of them, who does not like her ribbon tails being upside down, and we all know who we're talking about. So there is a trick to do that so that all the ribbon tails will be facing the correct way and nothing will be upside down. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now you're going to take, remember we cut these ribbon tails. We cut 15-inch pieces of ribbon and then I cut them in half. Yes, curl side down. Sorry guys, I'm super thirsty. Okay, so when you're doing, if you kept it one piece, when you do your tails, you'll see for instance, the skull and the house and the bats and everything on this side are right side up, but this side, they're upside down. We're going to fix that. So you cut it in half, put the two ribbons, both right side up. So they're both right side up, and we're going to dovetail the end of these two ribbons. So you're folding it and cutting it on the fold to the outside corner. All right, and you can put the two ribbons like together like that. And we're just gonna pinch along the bottom of the ribbon tails. And now, voila, your ribbon's not upside down. You're going to take the end of your ribbon. We're going to put it into that zip tie that we put on top of the mesh. Put it right in about half an inch again and just pull it tight. And there we go. Our ribbon tails are no longer upside down. And nobody will know that you cut them in half. Let's do it again. So, put both of them right side up. Fold it in half lengthwise. You're going to cut from the fold to the outside corner. Pinch the bottom where we didn't dovetail. Take the end, put it into the zip tie, and do it. So we did cut them at 15 inches to give us that, extra inch for cutting and putting the ends into the zip tie. So we basically have a 14-inch set of tails. Pretty cool, huh? Takes a little more time, but if there's people that, you know, there is customers that really pay attention to detail. And they may look at, you know, the ribbon tails and say, well, why is one side upside down? You never know. This is your way to fix that. It is very cool. Like I said, we're doing a monochromatic. It's going to be very super cool once we get it done. Now, there's no, with the boards, the nice thing about the boards is you can walk away and literally come back 2 weeks later or something and know exactly where you left off. So you can do these in small little, you know, do your wreath in small increments, especially if your hands get tired or if you get tired of sitting. This ribbon is so cool. It's spooky, but yet it's glittery. Like, how cool is that? Haunted houses that are glittery. So we're doing 8 of these, just right, like I said, right over top of the mesh. That's why I put that extra zip tie in. For those of you that are not beginners, you know how to do it with just 1 zip tie. But my friends, zip ties are not super expensive, so you have 100 in your kit. Yeah, this kit, again, is perfect for if you want to have a girls' night in or a workshop or something. Everything you need is in the kit, except scissors. And you can go buy scissors at the dollar store, and those will be quite suffice. Hello from Wisconsin. You are absolutely welcome. I love, love, love teaching, and I love even more when you guys say stuff like that, Shanna. So thank you so much. And this is why I like to do what I do. You know, I could do recorded tutorials, but I love hanging out with you guys. So I like to do these live. I know I like to talk a lot, but at least when I'm talking, I'm still crafting. So you're not sitting there waiting for me to do something. We actually spoke about this last night in Wreath Critique. But we have hired somebody that is going to speed up my lives to make them into better tutorials for the YouTube channel. But lots of you like to come on and just chit chat with me, and that's why I like that. You know, we talked about me just recording tutorials, like not doing live, and I don't like that. I like to hang out with you guys. I think my media team's just worried because I have a big mouth that I'll say something. The mesh I cut, row 1, I cut 8 of them at 20 inches, and then the rest I cut 16 of them at 12 inches. Row 1, we did at 20 inches, just to give that big, full appearance of the wreath. You take notes. That's so cool. Well, thank you for sharing that, Shanna. I love reading stuff like that. Okay, we are done row 2, my friends. And we are going to do the same thing. We're skipping row 3. We're going to do the same thing on row 4. And then we're going to put our bats and everything in row 4. Now you can put your bats in row 2 if you'd like. I just thought the bats would look a lot cuter closer to the skull face. Yeah, I'm a talker. I don't like awkward silence. So you get what you get. Okay, so we're going to do the exact same thing on row 4. Zoom that out a bit. Stretch it off. Now you can do a kerfuffle here. I don't know if you guys know what a kerfuffle is. You can take your mesh, fold it, take the bottom, bring it approximately to the middle, bring the top down just above, about an inch above the bottom that you just did, so it kind of looks like an envelope. And then you can pinch it right up the middle, and you're definitely won't see any of the cut edges. Okay, so you can do the kerfuffle. I'm just doing a plain ruffle. I think the plain ruffle makes it look just a little bit fuller. So again, we're going to take it, hold it, just like that. And again, if you are used to doing the board, you know how to do the wreath, the ruffle, and the ribbon tails together. I see you, Dottie Newman, when you're on there. I see you. Liz, your lives are just fine. You don't need to speed up anything, honey. Now you can do what I did on row 2 and put the second zip tie over it as you're putting the ruffle in. It's totally up to you. Yep, there it is. Wouldn't be at Laurie Live if I didn't drop something. Oh, okay, Liz. But you don't need to do it, honey. Your lives are just fine. reason, I think these are longer. I'm hungry. Dave made me homemade pizza, and it's sitting upstairs, and I can smell it. I'm starving because I am on Eastern Standard Time, so it is almost 8 o'clock here. Yes, I'm putting my skull in the middle of the board. See how these little ruffles just kind of fill up everything? And then this ribbon, you can see the glitter in it. It's pretty cool. I do know it is a girl, Leanne. Thank you for asking. But unfortunately, my daughter-in-law, or, well, I call her my daughter-in-law, but they're at the labor and delivery right now. She's been getting terrible migraines with her blood pressure being increased. So that is why I'm late today, because I was wanting to make sure she was okay before I went live. So I need 2 more pieces. 1, 2, and then the rest of whatever mesh is left over on your roll, we're going to put right in the middle so it is in behind the skull, so it'll stand up nice. You had another grandson yesterday. Well, congratulations. Wow. You must be over the moon. I just cannot wait. Next week, Dave and I are going on vacation. Finally. Since we were supposed to go last week and that didn't work out. We are going to see his grandkids up in Cold Lake, Alberta. And one of his grandsons he hasn't even met yet. And when we go, it just happens to be that grandson's birthday. So we get to meet him and go to his birthday party, his 1-year-old birthday party. So I'm super excited. All right, there we go. We got our mesh in there. I need another water. And I'm just going to go over again with these zip ties. Now, you can use pipe cleaners again. I've been alternating between zip ties, pipe cleaners. For this method, I like to use zip ties because it gets it nice and tight. So even though it seems like we're using a lot, we're really not. And especially because we've cut the ribbons in half. Trying to put that in a pipe cleaner is a little bit more difficult than putting the 2 half pieces in a zip tie. Your granddaughter's 7 weeks old. Oh, that's awesome, Barbara. Exciting. Yeah, I already started. I already have a corner in my closet of girl baby stuff. So we're just doing another set of zip ties right over top. Again, if you have clips and stuff, you can use your clips and use just one zip tie. And now we're going to put our ribbon tails in. We want to make sure all our ruffle is showing this beautiful ribbon. Let's see. Our skull is going to go right there. And we have our bats. Don't forget our bats. Where are they? Here they are. So our bats are going to go on this row. We have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bats. So I'm going to pull these right off the main stem. You can just rip them. They're kind of just paper taped onto the wire here. So you can just literally just pull them off. And you can use this. This is a really sturdy wire if you ever need one. I just chuck it. Okay. We can pull these just a little bit, just so they're a little bit longer. So I'm just going to use them singly. So I'm just pulling them a little bit just to make them a little bit longer, but we don't want to lose that corkscrew kind of twist in them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know there's 7. Oh, here it is. There we go. We got 7 little bits. Okay, let's get back to, we're going to be cutting these again. Fold them in half, make sure that they're both going the right side up. So neither side is upside down. And I'm going to take one of these bats. Okay. I'm going to get my ribbon into the end, into the zip tie, and then I'm going to put the end of one of these bats, just like that. So the bat is into the zip tie. You don't need any glue. And there we go. That kind of looks cute. Now, because it's monochromatic, it's probably really hard to see, but in person you can see the sparkle, definitely see the bat and the sparkle of them. And we're going to do that for each of these zip ties, so 8 of them. Now we only have 7 bats, so I'm not going to put a bat down by its chin. So I'm just going to have the bat going around the top of its head. Okay? Love the bats. Yeah, they just add a little fun, right? And the mesh and ribbons are very close together, so just one bat in each zip tie definitely suffice. So you can see that row 2 and row 4 are not on top of each other, so they are kind of kitty corners. So you will see the ribbons on row 2 and you will see the ribbons on row 4. Pretty cool, huh? Just put the end of your bat into the zip tie after you put your ribbon in, and there you go. No glue necessary. And yes, you can see the mesh too. So like I said, it's all black and white, monochromatic, but it's kind of pretty cool. And then as soon as we're done this, we will put the rest of the leftover mesh that's on this roll. We're going to put it right in the center and then put our sign on. And we'll be done. Okay, so that is the bottom. We don't want to put a bat on the bottom because the skull is a little bit elongated, so we don't need a bat down there. And of course you can add other stuff. If you don't like the monochromatic, which there is a ton of people, believe it or not, there is a lot of people that like monochromatic wreaths. But if you don't, you can add whatever you want. You can add some more, you can add color to it. So if you want to add some orange or some purple, there's lots of fun stuff at the dollar store I was looking at that you could add. But I like the black and white. I don't have any large bats, but like I said, you can find them at the dollar store if you want to add a couple. Although I do have this bat. Oh, that would look cool. This is the bat Jackie Blewett sent. That's a pretty cool bat. But anyways, if you wanted like a normal, like just rubber bat, you can find some at the dollar store. That looks so cool. Very, very cool. Last one for the bat. You love it? Then you love monochromatic then, don't ya? Now it'll go a lot faster if you don't want to fuss doing your ribbon tails like I did, being right side up and everything. But, you know, there is customers out there that are they're sticklers for detail. And if you have your ribbon tails all going the same way, they may appreciate that. All right, and now we just have one more ribbon tails and we're done. We'll put our sign on and c'est fini. You like the black? Yeah, I love the black and white. I love monochromatic at Halloween. I also have a oval one coming out that I do every year with the spider, the orange and black. That one is super cool on the oval. Alrighty, we're done. We just have to put our skelly face on. So we got the ribbons on row 2 peeking out, the mesh on row 1 so you can see that fabulous border stripe. And then we have, looks like all ribbon on row 4 with the bats. Really cool. And we're going to cut these tails off now. Like I said, I am going to put the rest of my mesh that's on the roll right in the center of my wreath. Just it'll help hold the skeleton on and fill up if there's any holes that you may see. I don't know if you guys can you guys see the bats and everything? It's super cute. All right, so right in the center there is 2 holes. I'm going to go down and up. I'm not going to close it. I'm going to keep it open, and I'm going to take whatever is left on here. Make a huge ruffle and just put it right in the center. I'm glad you found us too. If you wouldn't mind subscribing to our channel, that way you'll get notified every time I go live. I do go live a few times a week. I'm not the best at sending out notifications through Telegram or anything, but if you hit subscribe on YouTube or the exclamation mark notify in Facebook during this live, that will put you in for notifications. There we go. So I used the whole 10-inch roll. And we're really not going to see this one at the bottom here. Just moving it around. It'll help, like I said, it will help with keep the skull face upwards. Okay. Isn't that cool? I know it's all black and white, but in person you can see everything. I promise. So we're going to flip this over. We're going to put a hanger on it. So nice and neat. Look at that. You wouldn't even know that there was all that stuff on the front. clean this up a bit. All right. So right here is our hanging holes. All you're going to do is take your zip tie, go down one hole, push it back up the other. Do it up so you hear a few little clicks. Cut the remaining tail off, and now you have a hanger. So if you're selling this, you're going to put a sticker or your business card and tape it to the back where your Etsy shop is or whatever, so you can get another customer for Christmas. And now we're going to put our skull face on. I'll fix these tails a million times before I even get a picture. Okay. It's going right in the center, right there. Okay. And then the holes, the two holes are at the side. And what you're going to do is we're just going to go down and kind of separate. Now, you guys won't be able to see what I'm doing, but you can just separate the mesh till you see the board, and there will be holes right there. And I'm going to go down one side. Where am I? One in the center. And I will flip it over so you guys can see where I went. Now, I'm not making the pipe cleaner tight, just giving it a little twist so it doesn't let go till I do the other side. Again, I'm just kind of parting the mesh, and you can see, as soon as you part the mesh, you can see the holes. Alrighty. Through, give it a little twist, make sure none of our ribbons are stuck underneath the sign. You don't want your ribbons stuck under there, and none of our bats are stuck underneath. So before you tighten anything, make sure everything is visible. That right out. Stick it right back in. Now, if you do want to put a little bit of hot glue, you can. And then what happened to me won't happen to you. I kind of pulled on that a little bit too hard. But I just stuck it back into the zip tie. Just have to press down. There we go. There we go. And it's back into the zip tie. Okay. I'm going to flip it over. There's our center. Oh, I should have went down here and here. Let's see. Do we have it centered? I'm going to move. So I want to be right here and here. The worst thing with wreathing is, in my opinion, is doing this stupid sign. There it is. Now if you lift the board, the light will go through it and you'll see the holes a little better. All right, we are centered now. Tuck that under. I'm going to kind of press this down, but not too hard. I don't want it to look like it's sunk in. Grab the pipe cleaner from behind and twist it. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. Pull it. Twist it on the back. So I'm just tightening it, and there we go. And again, I'll show you the back. This is super cool. You know what? Know this will be good for people that like motorcycles because of the skull. So it doesn't have to be just a Halloween wreath. If you have somebody that's a motorcycle lover, they will love this, I promise. Let me tuck that mesh under that extra mesh that we have, so it's sitting up. And I'm going to cut the excess pipe cleaner off, and we're going to go back down the hole. We're going to keep everything nice and neat. And there we go, you my friends. That is super cool for those Halloween skull lovers. And there we go. Isn't that cool? Of course, I have to fix all the ribbons and stuff, but make sure all your mesh. Now don't tug on your mesh really hard because you've only put the end of it into the zip tie. You just want to make sure that, you know, none of your mesh is stuck under, you know, the ribbon or anything, because you want to see all of that beauty. And then your bats. You can bring your bats a little forward so they're really sticking out and you can see them. There we go. Oh, that's cool. And you do have enough if you do want to make like a bow or something to put underneath, you know, maybe down here. You do have quite a bit left to absolutely do a bow with if you'd want. Or we could have did another 8. We could have did another 8 tails and did it and put another 8 tails on row 1. So if you want lots more ribbon tails on your wreath, go ahead and put, you know, another 8 sets on row 1. But there we go. And we have, like I said, it's 25 inches in diameter. It did come out cool, didn't it? Let's take a closer look. You can see the bats, you can see the glitter, but it's still Halloween-y. Could you put a black light underneath? Probably. It would be even cool. We do sell the timered battery operated lights. I've incorporated them many times in my designs. We do have some in stock, so you could add some lights into this design. That would be super cool as well. And then I'm just going to go around, and I do this before I take a picture anyways. I go around and make sure all my ribbons are where I want them and the mesh is where I want them. These bats are super cool. There we go. Alrighty, my friends, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I can't wait to see what you guys do with your kit. Again, you don't have to do it like this, but come on, this is like super cool, right? It will fit between 2 doors. And we got a nice neat back. Put your sticker where your Etsy store is or your business card on the back. Trust me, most 90% of the customers won't even take it off. So when they're looking for a Christmas wreath, they're gonna flip it over. Ah, that's where I got it. All right, my friends, have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see you soon.